Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Seattle Mariners franchise. Do not forget to drop a like on this video as well as subscribe if you're brand new. Plenty more of this series as well as many other franchise series here on Franchise Gaming, where it is franchise content all day, every day. And here we're going to show off some three-game highlights here. We're taking on the Kansas City Royals at Kauffman Stadium, and you can see Mallex Smith going to start us off with a stand-up double in this one. Nice leadoff. Here is Nakajima, recently called up, and he is going to fly out, but that's going to get Mallex Smith over to third base with his speed and put him in serious scoring position here for Anthony Rendon to go ahead and ground out to second, but it's only the second out, and that will bring Mallex Smith home. Here in the top of the third, Yan Gomes going to hit himself a double into the right field corner, and he will get to second base easily standing up, and that'll bring up Anthony Rendon with 2 outs on him, and he's going to throw that one over to first, and that's going to end the threat there for the Mariners. Here's a nice hit down the right field line for Kansas City, and that is going to put a runner coming home. He is going to get to the plate. Not sure why their 96 speed guy didn't try and take third, but he will remain on second. And then here is a nice bloop, and that's going to drop right in. 96 speed guy comes home anyway, so that is going to be a 2-1 lead for Kansas City. Then a grounder over to third can't be handled by Rendon. That's going to leave runners on the corners for Keuchel to pitch. Salvador Perez going to line out to center field. Later on, it's going to be Shed Long with 2 on, 2 out, and he blasts one to center field. That thing is gone. Then we'd last all the way into the 9th inning for Brandon Morrow to come in with the 4-2 lead. He gets a strikeout for the first out. Then he's got Jorge Soler. He's going to get him to bloop one. That's into foul territory, but it would be caught. And then Mondesi is going to go ahead and dribble one in front of the catcher. That's going to be thrown on to first. He just gets him. And Dallas Keuchel will pick up the win, going 7 1/3, allowing 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Shed Long is the player of the game with his 3-run bomb, which pretty much won the Mariners this ball game. Mallex Smith still batting over 300. Nakajima struggling a little bit, batting 189 in his major league career. Shed Long hits his 9th home run of the year's 34th RBI on that 3-run shot. Rendon gets his 56th RBI of the year. Looking over at the Royals, Billy Hamilton with a double. He would get an RBI, as well as Jimenez. And looking right after the ball game, Adalberto Mondesi going to get traded to the Brewers. Part of that deal is Marty McBombers, who you might remember from the MLB 18 miniseries. Yes, he is a user guy. Marty McBombers. Welcome to the Kansas City Royals, and welcome to our conference. The Angels are going to acquire Daniel Winkler. They need some bullpen help trying to make the playoffs here in our division. They're going to give up a reliever in Jesse Biddle, and they're going to give up Griffin Canning. And now we will move into the Texas Rangers ball game. We're sitting at 62 36. They're sitting at 49 50, so not a threat in our division. They're not even 500. We are well above, so hopefully we can take care of business. And here's a good start to be able to do so as we're wearing these classic unis. That's going to be a safe man at first base, and then with 1 out, there's a nice one going oppo field right there. That's going to be a double. That's going to put 2 on and both in scoring position. Mallex Smith comes up. He's going to hit a dribbler over to second base. He will be out, but a run will come home. Then we have Ben Zobrist. He's going to dribble one over to the shortstop, and that's going to be easily taken care of right there. So it ends the threat. Xander Bogaerts in the top of the third is going to get a single with 2 out. And that is going to end up starting a little trouble as the next batter's Mitch Haniger, and he's going to put one into the seats in right field. That thing is gone. And it's going to be 3-0 Mariners. Anthony Rendon going to rip one into center field with runners on the corners in the fourth. That's going to bring a run home and leave runners on the corners for Nelson Cruz to come up and rip one over into left field through the gap. And that's going to bring in the 5th run of the ball game. It's now 5-0 in the top of the 6th with 2 out, with a guy on first base. And look at that gapper shopping gap, as Octagonal Gaming would say. Sub to him. And that is going to be another run for the Mariners at 6-0. A runner on first base, that's going to put 2 on with that little single right there. Next batter up is Nakajima, and he's going to put one into left field, and it cannot be handled by the left fielder. So bases loaded, nobody out, and we have got a hitter up there. Look at that. That's going to be an out, but they're going to get the tag. And that is going to bring home a run, even though it's a double play as they tag the runner going to third. Malik Smith will strike out and end the threat. Coming into the bottom of the 7th, and Texas gets a run home with 2 out. They had a man on third, and that single will bring a man home, but that is all they could muster today. Mitch Haniger was 1 for 4 with that 2-run shot. He is the player of the game. Yaziel Sierra goes 6 1/3 in this one in a starting bid. So good for him. He's 2-2 on the season with a 3.95 ERA. Not bad, not bad. And looking at the Ranger box score, there's Gerardo. He's going to go 3-3 with a 3 2/3 innings pitched today. He couldn't get through a lot. As we move into the final highlight recap here against the Oakland Athletics, of course featuring Paris Allen III, who is from that miniseries on MLB The Show 18. Check that out if you haven't already. And there we go. There's a runner on second base, and there's going to be a nice little blue pit. That's going to bring in the runner off second base, and look at this. All the way to third he goes. So it'll be a triple in the bottom of the 2nd. Now Ryan Healy comes up, and that's going to dribble on to second base. They'll take care of Healy, but they won't get the runner coming home. It's a 2-0 game. Now Omar Narvaez comes up with those 2 out, and he's going to single into center field. And maybe this will start another little rally as Chris Santiago comes up and gets one down into right field. That puts 2 on with 2 out for Malik Smith, who rips one down the line in left field, and that is definitely going to bring a run home. It'll be 3-0 with still a man on, but they would end the threat there. Now to the bottom of the 3rd, where there's 1 out and a guy on third base. That's going to be a double into the gap, and that's going to put a 4-0 lead on the board for the Mariners, for Xander Bogaerts to hit one in the left field and make it a 5-0 lead. And this one's getting out of hand quick. Now it's a 6-0 lead, and Bogaerts gets over to second base. Now bottom 8th inning, and look at this. Santiago going to put one out of the park into the stands. Look at that. The little kid got that one. And that's going to be a 7-0 lead. Now to the top of the 9th inning, where we got a guy on third base. Oakland going to hit one into the outfield, and they will finally get a run on the board. But, however, too little too late, as they would pop out, and that is going to end the ball game. Mike Leake goes the full thing, only gives up 6 hits, 1 run, so a great outing for him. Paris Allen doesn't do much. As a matter of fact, he had an error on the game. So, there, take that one, Paris. Now, Blackburn, he's going to get the loss. He's going to go 5-9 on the season. Not good for him. We would get a home run from Chris Santiago, a very unlikely person to home run today. He would get his 2nd home run of the season, and Mike Leake goes a complete game. Congratulations to him. He has a 3.24 ERA now. Looking at some of the trades that happened afterwards, Jose Alvarado on the move. He's going to go from the Blue Jays. He's going to go to the Blue Jays from the Rays for a bunch of prospects. Kevin Kiermaier leaving the Rays as well, so a fire sale happening in Tampa Bay, as he's going to go to the Rockies for a couple prospects. And then we're going to make this deal, as we are going to trade away Ben Zobrist, the old man. He's going to go for a 21-year-old prospect for us. All right, we're going to make this other trade here. We are going to trade away Evan Gattis. We have an extra Catcher who's costing us a ton of money. We are going to trade him away, as well as old man Nick Markakis. Now with Griffin Conine, we no longer need Markakis, but we're going to get Justin Williams back. He's 24. He hasn't exactly done anything special, but he could maybe grow into something. And then we are going to pick up relieving pitcher Willard Lyles, a 65 overall, 22-year-old reliever, to try and help our bullpen. All right, another deal we're going to make here. Ivan Nova, he got himself sent down to AAA. He did not pitch well for us. And Yusei Kikuchi should be coming back into the rotation relatively shortly. So we can get an A potential reliever here, along with a nice young outfielder that could eventually grow. Andy Pineda, not very excited about him, but the other two guys make this deal really worth it. All right, here's another move we're going to make. Anthony Descalfini, going to be a AAA starter for us. He's 29 years old and a C potential. But if we could pick up a nice bullpen arm here, 20-year-old Henry Villalobos off the New York Yankees, I'm down for that. All right, obviously we're making a move towards the playoffs here. Ranger Suarez, we're going to have to give him up in this deal. He's a 64 overall, 24 years old, but he is set to hit free agency. He's not under team control. Dan Otero just hasn't really worked out with him. He's pitching to a 4.17 ERA. He's given up 27 earned runs in 58 innings. He really has not been what we thought he was going to be. And then Cesar Izturis Jr., another guy that really hasn't worked out in this series. I appreciated his father and what he did, but look at his ratings. They're just not where they should be, and his potential fallen to a C over this series. It is time to ship him off. We are going to bring in somebody who can help us. Here he is, Joe Jimenez, an 82 overall B potential relieving pitcher. It's only 25 years old. He's got 24 saves this year for Detroit, and he's pitching to a 1.10 ERA, one of the best relievers in baseball right now. We would have him under team control through 2023. That is extremely important. He doesn't have any quirks, but he has been pitching really well this year, and he's the guy we're going to bring in to help our pen. All right, this one is a big dump off for us. We are going to get rid of Jed Jerko. He, while doing some good fill-in for us and hitting a little bit, he's hitting 275 right now. I'm not disappointed in what he has done since we picked him up, but if we can add him to this deal with Roenis Elias, who has been bad, and Chasen Bradford, who has gotten himself sent down and has not been good himself, and we can pick up 2 prospects in return for that, save a ton of money, and possibly build more for the future, I'll take that. Because these 3 players aren't really cutting it on our squad. All right, after the deals we've made, we end up with 2 extra spots for the majors, and I had exactly my plan ready to go for that. Without Jed Jerko, whom we pretty much already have a guy that can do exactly what Jed Jerko did, and that's Steven Nakajima. He plays every spot in the infield, so congratulations, Nakajima will be full-time in the major leagues. He did have 94 at-bats with us for a 223 average, but hopefully he will do much better going forward. And then that's going to leave an opportunity in the outfield. Nelson Cruz has been the only one filling in out there, really, with Haniger, Santana, and Malik Smith. Malik Smith needs some help in center field. Somebody has to be able to play center field. Now, I don't feel Sammy Francisco or Dom Williams are quite ready, as their averages are quite low, but look at Alfredo Escalera. He's been batting .293 with 14 homers in AAA, so congratulations. We are going to add him into the 40-man roster, and we are going to move him to Major League Baseball. Alfredo Escalera is going to come up with us, and we'll see what we're going to do with the lineups and bullpen. All right, so our lineups are going to kind of stay as is with Smith, Bogarts, Rendon, Cruz, Haniger, Santana, Healy, Narvaez, and Shed Long. And then, of course, over here against lefties, same thing. Smith, Bogarts, Rendon, Cruz, Haniger, Healy, Narvaez, and Santiago going to play instead of Shed Long, and then Domingo Santana. But we're going to keep an eye on this now. Mitch Haniger has 19 homers. He's only batting .218, but look at this. He's gone up to an 85 overall. I don't know how he's done this, but I'm happy for him. And then I want to keep an eye on first base because Ryan Healy is sitting there at first base batting .265. So if Escalera does well in whatever at-bats he does, if Nakajima does well in his at-bats, Nakajima can play first and could play some first base for us, and then Nelson Cruz could lose his or gain a no DH job if Mitch Haniger does not do what he should be doing. So that is the only thing. Nelson Cruz probably so far throughout the season has deserved that right field no DH spot more than Mitch Haniger, but we're gonna keep our eye on it. Our pitching rotation has been upside down and all around all season long. Dallas Keuchel, though, still there with Marco Gonzalez, Mike Leake. Yaziel Sierra is now going to be a full-time starter for us for what he has done. You have seen him in the episodes. He had one really bad outing, but he's been pretty darn good since then, as he's 4-2 with a 327. And then, of course, King Felix. Really hoping he retires soon, but I don't know if that's going to happen. This might not be a swan song for Felix Hernandez. Into the pen, Jamie Castilla was brought up not that long ago, and he is going to stay up with us here as a rookie. Dan Altavilla will be up as well with Corey Guerin. These two guys have been pitching pretty well. Look at that, a 193 from Castilla, a 119 from Altavilla, and a 349 from Guerin. Villalobos, we are letting him go. We traded for him from the Yankees. It is time to see what he has. He has not pitched in the majors before. Brandon Morrow hasn't been doing great this year, so he's going to go to the setup role. I'm going to agree with the computer for now. Hunter Strickland was our closer at 252, but the computer's recommending that Joe Jimenez goes there. And you know what? We did pick him up. He does have 24 saves in his 28 games pitched, so we're going to give him that opportunity. To the prospect spotlights now, and we're going to be spotlighting Jeremiah Jackson. He's got 7 home runs, 47 RBIs, and a 251 average so far this season. There are his ratings. A lot of them are climbing, especially on the defensive side and the more intangible side. So we have him under control until 2026. Doesn't have any quirks or anything yet, but he's out of Alabama. We'll see how he does today. All right, let's check out Jeremiah Jackson as his very first play here in this prospect spotlight is a double play attempt as he's getting that one over to first, but the throw causes the runner to get off the bag. Now his first at-bat is going to be a grounder over to short, and he's going to get retired and taken care of. Here in the bottom of the third, it's a play. That's going to get flipped over to him for 1 out, and then he throws it over to first for the double play. Great play by Jeremiah Jackson. And then his next at-bat is going to be thrown into the outfield on what should have been a double play. That's going to be counted as an error, so that's not going to go in favor of him. But then there, making a nice play, coming over to second, loses his hat, but gets the man out. His next at-bat going to be a fly out into right field. And that's all we really get to see of Jeremiah Jackson. So, not the greatest showing at the plate for Jeremiah as he goes 0 for 4, bringing his average down to 248. He is the 9-hole hitter down there in Arkansas for us. But he played very well defensively, and I'm very excited to see what he can do in the seasons coming. Maybe he can lead the team to the playoffs. Anyways, we look at the standings here. We're a half a game out, guys, so stay tuned for the next episode. Please go ahead and drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you are brand new. Plenty more of this and other content here on Franchise Gaming. Franchise content all day, every day.
You're a pretty little star boy.